Good morning, everyone. A very big welcome to our 10 a.m. talk. And today we have Sister May. And Sister May has just returned from our headquarters in India, and where she did a silence retreat. And she's a very good example of. Huh? Good morning. Very big welcome to everyone. Tonight to this morning, we're going to have a talk from Sister May, and Sister May has just come back from our headquarters in India, where she did a silence retreat. And May is someone who loves the silence and the quiet, and I'm sure you'll enjoy what she has to say today, because she's a very good example of it. Thank you. Bye.
Om Shanti and good morning, everyone. So I think by now you're getting used to tuning in at 10 a.m. every morning and enjoy this Leura series. So I think it's a very good habit. So as Sally mentioned just now, I came back from our spiritual headquarters in India about 2.5 weeks ago. It was quite an adventure. So I actually left Sydney at the beginning of March to attend a silence retreat in our retreat center 1 hour outside of Delhi. It was wonderful. It was like a mini headquarters for us. We call it our mini Madhaban. Madhaban is our headquarters. So that was wonderful. And then I moved on to our headquarters, to Madhaban in Mount Abu. Then things started to change a little bit. So halfway through, like people already started talking about, having to change our tickets. And I was a bit hesitant at the beginning because it was a bit costly to change the ticket to come back a bit early. But in the end, we got signals that we really have to do it. So I was one in there were a few of us from Australia who returned on the last night just before India closed its airports to international flights. And then I had a long layover in Singapore, and that was just before Singapore implemented about stopping transits. And then when I came back, then I had to go into this 2-week self-isolation, which was really a good thing to do, actually. Well, I have to thank so much those who helped us during this self-isolation, those who brought us food and cooked for us and all that. But meanwhile, I was actually having an extra 2 weeks of silence amid all the chaos, so to speak, outside. So, but all through this, I thought to myself, it's really up to me how to direct my thoughts, because I could be caught up in the world, in this crisis, in this fear, or I could just see things as they are, that it is, well, the world is going through a lot of things at the moment, but if I'm caught up, then I won't be a help. So it's my choice how I uplift myself, and most of all, how I uplift my thoughts, so that I am in a position to benefit myself and benefit others. So I think before we continue on, let's have a meditation first. And this meditation is about discovering the inner being. As you know, in our practice, our understanding is that we are souls, immortal beings, beings of light. And in this way, then as soon as I remember who I am, actually, and this is what we being reminded every morning when we do when we have our spiritual class, that every morning we're reminded who we are, and we're also reminded to remember our eternal parent. So, as we usually do when we meditate, we keep our eyes open so that we bring ourselves into this practice that I can do it anywhere I am, wherever I am, whatever I do, that I can bring remembrance into my daily life. So we keep our eyes open, and if we need to cast the eyes onto a focus, then this is another point of light that we can use, or we use our internal point of light. So Sri Ram is going to play a commentary for us, and this is from one of Sister Genti's commentaries on the CD of Knowing Myself.
Experiment with the third exercise, the discovery of the inner being. Sitting quietly, my body calm, relaxed, and still. I turn inwards. I know that my eternal identity is not of my physical costume. My physical body is simply an instrument that I use at this moment for a little while. I would like to find out more about the being that is actually operating this physical instrument. In the quietness, I can feel the source of life shining, radiating light in the center of my forehead. I come back to the identity of my eternal self. This is who I am. And no matter how my body may change, no matter how the circumstances of life may change, no matter how relationships change, or even how the world changes, I am eternally a being of light. Within all the changing factors of the universe, I am constant. I am a point of light with peace, with love within my own being. I am the source of life itself. Turning inwards, and discovering myself, I realize how I had become a stranger to myself. I had forgotten myself, and so I had not been able to love myself. And now, discovering myself, I begin to make friends with myself. I acknowledge the value of my own existence, the beauty of my own being. And in this recognition, I once more begin to love myself and respect myself.
Om Shanti. So I would like to read a quote from Buddha, just so that I quote it properly. I have to read it. Buddha says that we're shaped by our thoughts. We become what we think. When the mind is pure, joy follows like a shadow that never leaves. So how I uplift my thoughts is really up to me. And of course, we have our guidelines, but in the Chinese word crisis, which we're now in, it actually, there are two components. That's the component, the first word means situation or danger, and the second word means opportunity. So that means each crisis is actually an opportunity for me to grow. So, and it's up to me to choose whether I process something that someone said to me, someone was rude to me, someone shouted at me, and I keep on thinking about it, or I just turn that thought into understanding that that soul is going through something, is suffering. Of course, I also assess myself to see whether I did the right thing or the wrong thing that triggered that. But then it's up to me to choose how I would respond. And the more we try to remain stable under circumstances, the easier it is for us to go through things. So, and we're very fortunate because, as I mentioned, every morning we're reminded who we are. In our spiritual class, we actually get a lot of upliftment because we'll be reminded of how beautiful we are. we'll be reminded of how special we are. Of course, sometimes we get a little stick as well. Like this morning, we were reminded that we're not allowed to yawn because we are actually earning an income, a spiritual income, of course. So so sometimes we do get a little stick, but it's because we need some reminders. And but then again, how I maintain my self-respect, and that's our training. That's our training every day. So, and we actually have a list of, our, what we call our titles, our self-respect titles, or even choosing a few virtues each day to practice. So if you would like some tools about our a list of virtues that we practice, or our self-respect titles, let us know, email us or send us a comment, and we can arrange to send that through to you, because we're here to help. And so the first thing we need to do is to look after the self. That's the individual. And in the Chinese way, we say the first is the self, then is the family, then is the community, and then the world. So we start with the self, and then we go towards the collective. So, and here what we do is, now we are actually reminded that now is the time, the opportunity for us to practice more meditation, more yoga, to be more in silence, to be more in connection, to be more connected with the Supreme. And in so doing, then we also spread light to the world. So let's just, for a few minutes now, let's just forget everything that we may have, because while we are enjoying this, you may still be thinking of something outside. So just everyone, if we could just do ourselves a favor, see ourselves as a being of light. Just feel that we're this beautiful, eternal point of energy. Feel that. Feel that you are this being of eternal peace. That I am this being of eternal love. That I am this eternal being of complete purity. Feel your pure mind. And I'm sending rays of purity to the world. Om Shanti. So we've been asked that as part of our daily exercise to keep on reminding ourselves that we are this incorporeal being, that we are a point of light, and also we're also reminded of our angelic form, our avyakt form as we call it. So seeing ourselves as angels, spreading light to the world. And it is more effective actually when we do it combined with the Supreme, the powerful energy, the powerful, ever pure, eternal store of all virtues and all powers. So it may be a concept to some of us, but when we feel that pure energy, when we sit in yoga, in that combined form, then it's not really our imagination anymore. So as we walk around, we could see that, in fact, we could see ourselves walking with the other angel, who is Brahma Baba, the head of the organization, the head of Brahma Kumaris, or the original, or the founder, the founder of the Brahma Kumaris. So walking hand in hand with this Avyakt Brahma, or sitting together with the other pure point of light, Shiv Baba, or the two combined, Bab Dada. So we've got all these tools to help us, but it's really up to us at this time to use this opportunity to uplift ourselves. So, but we can do it in a fun way as well. So, as we are, say, I like walking. I have a daily walk every day, a brisk walk every day. So, but I never do it by myself. I always have a companion. I always walk combined. And then I don't have to be fearful. Even if I see a snake, then I know I'm under protection. So these are the tools that help us go through situations, an opportunity for me to learn while I'm in a crisis. So there's always light at the end of the tunnel, as we say. So let's have another meditation. And this time, let's just all focus together as a collective to send pure energy, light, love, and healing energy to the world. We are very fortunate to be sitting here so comfortably. I think most of us are in a healthy situation at the moment, but there are people who are in hospitals or loved ones who are in hospitals. So we also as we send love and good wishes to the world, everyone is included in the collective. So we could send good wishes to individuals, or we could send a blanket form of good wishes to the whole world. And then in that way, no one misses out. So let's do this collectively. And this time, I will not be speaking any commentary. So let's prepare ourselves. And we try to do this in silence, because at the moment, when we are in a collective state of silence, with pure and positive energy of good wishes is the best medicine for the world. So let's visualize ourselves going to the soul world and being merged in the love of the Supreme, under the canopy of protection of the Supreme. And together we send light to the world. So Om Shanti. This is just a short practice. As we get used to this, we can prolong the practice. So what we do here in Leura is, apart from our morning and evening meditation, we're also implementing a meditation during the day from 11 to 12. And actually, according to your own timetable, you can create a time for whenever is convenient for you. But I suggest that create a timetable and stick to it, because when I first started my retirement, I find that there were lots of time on my hands, and still, because we have our Brahman timetable, so I'm attached to that. But other than that, during the day, I have lots of time that I don't know how to use. So now we are in times of working from home, or school holidays when it's not really school holidays as such as our usual school holidays. So it's good to create a timetable and we stick to it, then it becomes a habit for us. So I was also going to say something about our literature shop, because we have lots of books that could help you at this time as well. And just if you're interested in getting our books, go online, go onto the Eternity Inc. Website, and They're offering free shipping for the month of April. So enjoy that as well. So thank you very much. And I hope to see you sometime in the future. But meanwhile, let's get connected through social media, which is of extreme benefit to us at the moment. So Om Shanti. So I think Sally is coming to say something to us.
Thank you very much, May. I think probably those that are watching felt the same as me. We didn't want it to stop. Just so peaceful, so beautiful. And you may be able to see behind here, there's some photos of our headquarters. That's one of our halls. And this one is an overview with all the campuses. So I think you can have a look at that. Very beautiful. So now we'll close now and see how long you can keep that peace. Thank you. Om Shanti.